Okay, so the power of joy. This for me goes hand in hand with the core of intelligence. How many of you really connect with the energy of joy? Okay, couple, 3, 4, 5, 6. For me, and you guys, my assistant Kayla was Kayla Joy. Her middle name is Joy. Her email address was joy@Samantha Fe. And she's like, Joy! And I just never got it. As weird as that sounds, I was like, that's so cute. And I didn't really get it. And recently, as I was going through this period of, as I described it last night to the ambassadors, like, okay, so are you all aware of the dark night of the soul as well? That there's like this turnover that happens, the hero's journey, the dark night of the soul. We go through it, we come out a different person. There's an evolution that happens through the experience. For me, what I feel like these last few months has been is like this dark night of the soul for the entity that is my business. That as I birth this entity that is Samantha Fe International, that then is going through its own evolution. And since I am the mother of it, essentially, I am also, one, affecting it, but being affected by it. And so going through this dark night evolution of the soul of my business has been a whole nother thing that has in some times been really dark through the growth periods, knowing full well, fully conscious, knowing that the reason I was going through it was because those aspects of myself could not go to where I'm going. If I want to grow my impact in the way that I want to grow my impact, there are parts of me that just straight up cannot come. They just cannot come. And that has been what the last few months have been, is like purging, releasing. It has to come out. And I would love to say that it gets easier, but it doesn't. You just get more aware of knowing that it passes. So that makes it a little bit easier. But the power of joy. What is the number one thing in your life that brings you joy? Think about it. First thing that comes to mind. Doggy, children. Okay. Doggy, children. Anything that is not outside of you. What is it inside of you that brings you joy? What was that? Your breath. Beautiful. Singing. I'm right there with you. Laughter. Getting those tears rolling down your face, like can't pick yourself up, like, oh my God. That stuff. Yeah, hang out with that table back there. Those two, they'll get you going. Well, there's 3 there, but... You ever get into that like little giggle land, that giggle world where nobody else understands outside of it, but just you and that other person? Everyone's like, what is going on? Yeah, Jared over there. He's my cousin. We're 2 months apart. We go there. It's been a while. We're due. But the giggle sessions, like, God, it's so healthy. We have to have those giggle sessions with the people that make us laugh, right? I feel like on any dating website or any sort of like dating service like that, what is like one of the number one things that women say that they want in a man? A sense of humor. It doesn't matter if they've got issues or like mommy issues or like whatever. It's like if they make me laugh and I'm having a great time with them, okay, that might work. And of course, moving on down, there might be some issues, whatever. But it's laughter, the things that bring you joy, we must incorporate. And so that's why you'll hear me in some of these meditations go, ha, ha, ha. Because fake amusement for me always leads to real amusement because I think it's so silly that I have to like, ha, ha, ha. It just happens. Just start giggling afterwards. I do that to encourage you to also laugh because when the energy gets really dense, the only thing that's going to break it up is an elevated frequency. It just cannot exist. You cannot be depressed and excited at the same time. Those frequencies, they don't combine. It's like oil and water. You might be able to have periods where you're laughing and you're depressed and you're laughing and you're depressed because maybe there's an evolution of a split of your psyche that's happening because part of you has to die, but the part of you that's having a good time just wants to cling on to it. Like that happens, that becomes this whole internal battle, right? Nobody's battled you harder than you've battled yourself, right? Yes. So what brings you joy is the number one thing that is going to help you through your own evolution. connecting in with those things that bring you happiness, that bring you sunshine, that make you laugh, that bring your endorphins up, that surge dopamine in a natural, healthy way into your body. The power of joy will break up so many densities, so many densities. So can you give yourself permission to do that? One of the other things that I was told when I was a little girl all the time was that I laughed too much. All the time. Like, always getting in trouble. How many, like, satisfactory social report cards did I get? Like, S-. Well, she talks a lot. Well, she giggles too much. Cool. Now it's my job. Now I'm getting paid to talk too much and laugh too much. And it's wonderful. It's really wonderful. Because, again, permission granted. I don't want to not laugh. Who wants that? Okay, so the power of belief. What you believe creates your reality, period. Period. And I am going to use Melody, your share, as an example that I would even guess to say that a year and a half ago, before you started the Earth Angels program, if you would have heard those words come out of your mouth, you probably wouldn't like, that woman, what is going on? What Kool-Aid is she drinking? What's happening over there? Because there's a cycle of belief that we commit ourselves to that doesn't allow us to see other things. Now, we can say that connecting in with the angel wings is a heightened level of spiritual consciousness. We can say that connecting with them can bring you to a new development of your soul's consciousness with your human psyche on board. We can also say that seeing and hearing and communicating with angels is cuckoo and that we need to go to the loony bin. I'm not convinced everyone in a psych ward is crazy. I'm convinced the people that are putting them in it are the crazy ones. I really am. For me, schizophrenia has never been a matter of being crazy or hearing things that aren't there. To me, it's very true that they are in fact there, that they are in fact real, that those voices do in fact very much exist, but not just in that person's head, that there's a consciousness that goes along with that, that there's a split in the psyche, the energetic makeup of that person. And I haven't really experienced enough of it to really decide or come up with my own theory as to why that happens, because I am very analytical, believe it or not. I do like to know why. I do like to test all of the things that I have seen or all the things that I talk about before I share. But for me, it's like the power of your own belief. It determines the way that you experience and see the world. So if you choose to believe in fairies, if you choose to believe in angels just because it makes life more interesting, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. You're just going to have a different experience. It's the same as like, I have two grandmothers. They had the same exact heart operation. We were hanging out at Super Burrito, right? Super Burrito. And we were talking about him. And it's so funny because this was for me one of the most poignant memories that I have of like my childhood. It wasn't even my childhood. It was, I don't know, maybe a few years ago. But it stuck with me so much. Exact same heart operation, two different perspectives. One said, I thought I was going to die. It was the scariest thing. I didn't know what I was going to do, just went into panic and anxiety. My other grandmother was like, well, yeah, they told me that there was a problem. So I was like, go ahead and go in and fix it. And these are, shortened descriptions of it. But for me, it was like hearing both of them talk about it like that created something so poignant in my brain of the way that we experience our world. Now, for those of us that were pickled in trauma or sadness at early ages, or learned to isolate, or learn to be independent to take care of ourselves to survive, we know what it means to be able to create the power of belief, but it also oftentimes means that we get addicted to our pain, That we get addicted to our sadness because it's comfortable, it's because it's what we know, it's because that is familiar. Joy is not so much. Joy is like on the other island that's way over there that's hard to get to, that we don't really know what happens if we're happy. If we're happy, then do we get shut down because we're upper limiting, because we cannot operate at that frequency? Oftentimes that's our belief. Because the pain or the sadness, and oftentimes it doesn't even have to do with the external circumstances, right? There are people that have had wonderful, beautiful, textbook, perfect childhoods that still show up later in life addicted to drugs, depressed, feeling shamed, feeling oppressed. So it isn't really about what happens to us at all. It's about how we perceive the experience. And that you have the power to control and change. That puts the power in your hands to shift your memories from the past, to shift how you perceive your childhood, to shift how you perceive who you are right now, to get to where you want to be. And then all of those ideas and the attachments to the identity of who you are right now, they just start to fall away.
To learn more about my upcoming events, programs, and retreats, please visit samanthafe.com/revolution. I do wish you the very best that life has to offer, and please remember, we are in this together.